Good morning. So today is Monday and it's back to work again. So yesterday we went to the city and we bought this 2-in-1 plastic and varnish. Yeah, so this is gonna be my project today because I have some native stuff here and it looks already fade. So I asked James yesterday to buy me some of this plastic and wooden dressing because I want to coat this native stuff like this one. Yeah, this chair was already look really rugged, look so old. So it's gonna be my project for today. I like something to do and I like this kind of stuff. So it's not really so special, but I like to do these things. So I put my box there. So while working, I'm gonna pumping some music, just a smooth music. So yeah, so weather is really good this morning. So glad that the rain was over. I'm not guaranteed that how long it's gonna be like this, how long it's gonna be sunny, but we appreciated this sunny every day. Let's see, I'm gonna try how it looks. The only thing is you have a native stuff. You don't need to be like always out of the weather. Like this here, it's all here in the shaded place, but it's during a storm. Of course, the wind was so strong if you live here on the close in the beach. So
good morning, everybody. Good morning to a beautiful sunshiny day here in the Philippines with a light breeze, and it's Monday and ready to get started on a full work week. Joelle's back feeling good again. I'm back pretty good again. I did a little bit of treatment with nebulizer. Oh my God, that helped me so much, and I'm getting all back on track. So today we've got almost a full crew. There's always somebody missing, and it's Miller today, but that's all right. Marvin's over here in this place. So let's just get busy here and I'll show you what all's been happening. So the guys been working for about 30 minutes now, and they're right back on the kitchen pour over here. This is the last ones that we need to do in this corner back in here. So they're getting the steel tied and finishing up the formwork on it, and they'll be pouring it here in just a little while. Just so we had a place to set our stuff, and we don't have that little table in here anymore. I set a piece of the countertop up here temporary. It's still got plastic on it, but that's working out really nice. Now this is where our sink will be, so that'll get cut out for that. But I went yesterday and I bought a brand new smooth DeWalt brand diamond encrusted blade to cut this angle on here. Most likely clamp down me a guide also to run. I want to get that as straight as I can, being that we're just going to do a hand cut. So I'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cuts to make all together. Now, talking about the kitchen. Oh, let me tell you. Let's go back over here. And then down here, talking about the sink, I bought something to go underneath down here to connect to the drain pipe, and I'll go tell you about that. And what I bought is a grease trap. Yep, a grease trap. Really shiny there, huh? So let's open this up. I'll show you in here on it. So it has a seal, a little seal gasket around the top here. It's got a little strainer basket that'll catch a lot of stuff. You got your little dividers, and of course the way it floats off and it catches the grease in there too. The way it floats on the water. So this is going to be very vital to keep our drain pipe from getting clogged up. For instance, just here recently, the outside sink on this outdoor kitchen out here wasn't draining, and Melinda recruited Joelle's help, and it was full of food and grease. The drain pipe was going out downstairs, and man, did it stink too. Just packed up with it. There was just unreal how much was in the line. Because you must understand something. Where Melinda grew up, and all of them grew up over at her mom's house, they don't have a P-trap. Number one, no P-trap. Number two, the kitchen sink, the pipe just went out through the wall. There was an indoor kitchen and a sink just made out of concrete, you know, and tile, and just the pipe, and it went outside. And outside there was like a trench, and everything just fell out of that pipe into this kind of like little concreted, kind of plastered over little trench. And so any leftover food and rice to a bone or anything just went out down through that. And when it would clog up, they would just, hey, you know, it's clogged, and they'd get an old piece of thin bamboo or whatever scrap that would fit up in there, old handle, anything, and they start jamming it up in the pipe, or take the pipe apart. They didn't glue joints. That way they'd take it apart, and they would just ram it out of there, and then it's good to go again. And that's where they were raised. They weren't raised to, like, you know, be careful about pouring grease down the drain and, you know, catching all those big food particles and stuff like that. So, you know, old habits are hard to break. They are hard to break. Like up here on these decks, I have strainers. I'm gonna show you. I have these strainers, and in the showers I have these little strainers here. See, you got a basket down below it in there, and you got the screws out because they were not stainless and they were rusting. But my wife will go through, even in the showers, and she'll take the strainers out, and she'll take strainers out. Now she'll take strainers out. Well, the whole point of the strainer is so the big particles don't go down and clog it. Or say like you got a shampoo lid off of a bottle or something, that it don't go down in there and clog up your drain pipe. But she will take off that big old top off that drain and leave it where just the open pipe is open to you right there. No grate over it, no nothing. And oh my God, where's that? She says she's let it dry out. It's stainless steel. I don't know. I'm not beating her up. I'm just telling her that some challenges that I deal with. And I just keep telling her, you know, you're one mistake from getting something jammed in that pipe that we're going to have a hard time getting back out. But she is stubborn. Boy, she's stubborn. Old habits, hard to break. And outside, oh, it drains faster if you remove the basket. And I don't just see her doing it, because it's someone sees her do it and they think, well, if Melinda's doing it, she's the mom of the house, you know, she's the lady of the house, well then it's okay for us to do it too. And they're yanking out my strainer baskets, but then all the debris is going to head into my pipe, possibly clog it, or it goes into my cistern. And I'm like, oh my God, that's the reason that I put strainers. And it's a battle. It's a battle. Well, I don't want to deal with that battle on this sink up here, because I don't want that pipe getting clogged in the floor, that drain pipe passes across through this floor right here and goes down, and it ties into the main pipe that comes from the toilets in this restroom and all here going down. And I don't want this right here getting compacted full of grease and food. I just do not want it happening. So the only way I have to remedy that and be sure is put this grease trap in, which I think is a good idea anyway. I'm going to tell you, where I grew up back in Texas, my parents, a few years before I was born, built a brand new, at the time, modern brick home. Mostly my mom did. She's the one that paid for it. She got the land, bought it from her father, a little lot. And she's the one that made all the payments all the years on it. So she built that house brand new, modern brick home, 2-car garage, 3 bedrooms, big laundry room, pantry, kitchen with a bar, and open dining room, living room concept, which wasn't real common back then because they were still about making, you know, a separate dining room and a separate this, but pretty open concept with the typical old long hallway down through it, though, you know, with doors to the left and right, though, of those days and age. But it was a modern house, you know, nice patio, stuff like that, sliding glass door. So, fireplace inside and all. And there at our kitchen, we fought that thing constantly getting clogged with grease. I can't even count how many times that they had to hire plumbers to come out and unclog that kitchen sink. And that was with even my mom, and this is to Melinda's defense too. That was even with my mom, always dumping grease outside. My dad always dumping grease, you know, them having me and my brother to go take it out and dump it on out, you know, across the driveway towards the back pasture. But still, man, that just stuff in the water and all would clog up. And this is actually what they needed. Now, as a kid, I didn't know about grease traps and all, but this is exactly what that house needed. There was a clean out outside right below that sink, but it would stay clogged up, so it was just unreal. I remember they would run a snake through that thing and pouring pots of boiling hot water, and that stuff come out of there and just caked up. I'm sure some of you've seen it before, but this was just an ongoing, recurring event. The next thing is that makes it happen more here is that there's no hot water being used, so it's not like dissolving it down. But we are going to have hot water here at the sink. Just yesterday, Melinda's expressing how there's no need to have that hot water, but I tell you what, it really helps, especially cutting that grease. But another thing we would do is we would soak those dishes in detergent and warm water, and it would break that grease down. And that also made a big help on slowing down that pipe clogging up back in the U.S. And our modern state-of-the-art, at the time, home that, you know, still there to this day, was, you know, also making sure that you use some good detergents, and it broke all that down. But they don't really soak things here. They turn on the water slow, and they just wash everything right then. Not a sink with any like standing water in it or nothing. They wash each item underneath cold water running right then. It's their way. So I can't change everything they do. What I can do is just prevent it going down the pipe and getting clogged up. So the grease trap, I really suggest that maybe you consider that for your home too, is buy one of those grease traps. They got different sizes of them, from commercial sizes down to weight to a lot smaller than this. And look at them. There's several brands. They're readily available in the Philippines. They're very common, found here. And I think one of the reasons is because somebody that does have an indoor kitchen in their home and a nice modern home here in the Philippines, It's still going to deal with about the food and the grease getting down the sink, and that's the ticket right there. Just like commercial businesses have to do, even back in the US, they have to have a grease trap. So I think it's going to be pretty important. So we'll get off the grease trap story, but it's a real deal. We'll have to be buying another one for this cantina down here too. Probably will be required by health department actually. So we'll be getting one more of these. That one there, the size I bought, it was I think that one was only like 5,000 something pesos, you know, $100. It's worth it, man. It's worth it. Just put it in. You know, Mel said, oh, you know, it's going to have to be clean. Yeah, it's going to have to be clean. It is. And it's going to stink the days that you clean it. But that is part of it. Because it's going to be also a huge mess when we're all in here taking all the plumbing apart and trying to run snakes through the line and pour hot water and everything to unclog a line. And that's the best things, to be preemptive on it. Good morning. Can you tell everybody good morning? Yeah. Oh, let's see. Now let's tell them. Tell everybody good morning. Can you say? There you go. Little sweetheart. So, I just had some bamboo delivered. We've got some work to do up here on the front of the house, and we need to start building scaffolding around over there where we're going to be pouring the walls for those rooms upstairs. We're preparing to start that work. I'm going to start having more materials delivered for it. So Joelle's getting some nails together for that. Bought the sink, and I bought the tile to laminate the counter in here in our bathroom. So I've got that sitting here just outside of our bedroom here right now, and they will also be working on that, but maybe not today. I need to run back to City Hardware. There's a couple other things I need to get, but we'll see. Melinda said maybe we'll hold off on this because now she's starting to understand, a little slow, but she's getting there, that if the rain shows back up, that'll give them work to do back inside again. I'm like, now you get it. Now you get it. Because she kept wanting to cut everybody when it was raining, and I said, hey, here's work inside. And she just didn't see what the work was. And all of a sudden, when I said kitchen and bathroom, boy, her eyes lit up, and she seen the work going on, and she's like, you know what, babe, that's good work for when it's raining. Now I'm like, duh. No joke. Thanks for finally arriving at the terminal. I want to show you guys something. This is a little boat Mel bought me before. You know, they'll sell those tourist things around here, right? That little boat right there. And then our guest Dan that was here. Ooh, sorry, the camera. So let's see if I can get it here. Dan that was here, I'm gonna slide this over back in front of the window the way I like it. He bought me this big one right here. And it matches a lot with that one Melinda bought me. It's pretty cool. Pretty darn cool. It looks good. Talking about Melinda, she's got a project going on up here right now. You're getting it on the towel, baby. She's getting some of this stain on the towel. She's gonna go get something to get it wiped up. And I told her I got no sheet downstairs she can use. But she's up here refinishing these chairs right now. And she's been doing some other things too. Refinishing some little bamboo baskets and some wicker baskets that she's got. I'll show you some other things that she refinished. So I bought her some Hudson brand. It says wood dressing, which it's a stain and varnish. and bought her that yesterday at Wilcon, and she's going to go over and recoat these because you see they'll get dry looking, and the sun will make them lose their luster. So, I mean, you put that on there and they'll just look like new again, you know, you'll get a nice luster back to it. So she's working on that, and I'm proud for her for doing those projects. But I told her, oh baby, you got to get something on that tile though, because she thought it would just clean off easy later. I said, no, remember that stuff made the dry and really stick. And she said, yeah. So she's going down to get a towel. But man, I tell you what, I like her enthusiasm though. I really do. We just don't want to make it too big of a mess. Yeah, I like her enthusiasm. Let me go see some other stuff that she worked on. But while I'm here, check this out. It's 8:30 in the morning, and we're already full charged on the batteries. Pretty close. Yep, they're right at full charge. I see the voltmeter up here. Full charge on the batteries. And that's no charging from the grid. In fact, charged batteries from Iloilo, which is our power company, I have it off. I don't even have the grid turned on to the unit. Yeah. Well, it's about 4:30 right now. See, we got full battery packs. Stay full all day long. All day long. Power company's completely off, so I'm not charging the batteries from Iloilo. See, off. Iloilo main power off. House is only being fed by solar only. There's the current battery status right there. Miss Mel, she worked on all these today until she ran out of finish, and when I went to City Hardware, they did not have the same kind she's using, so I'll have to pick it up for her when I go maybe into the city tomorrow and grab it at another place. So that's the story with that. I've got Joelle doing some work up here. Step around here and show you. Right here with this back up might give you an idea of where we're at. We're up here on this 4th floor, and there's this opening right here. Of course, rain's blowing in there and all, and it blows in from that direction right there a lot, and it just soaks this up here. So he is cutting in and getting ready to set steel and some little forms and stuff that he'll be making a little wall and then closing that in. And then we're going to put flashing on the outside after we finish it and paint it, and that'll solve that problem right there.
It's my little helper. Shirley insists that she's the one to put the grocery there.
cut come out real good. Yeah. That'll work.
Wipes out.
Put your face down there.
No.
Here, grab it, mop, because it's round backwards. It's lunchtime now. The guys are about to go on lunch, and they've been my helpers here while I've been cutting all this countertop, and we've been making sure all of our sub counter underneath there, poured with concrete, was all level, no high spots or anything to make this countertop rock or pivot or end up breaking or popping. So we got all that worked out. It's the factory seam together right there. It's just sitting here right now. We have not attached this down yet, but just getting it all cut in and getting it all fitted and make sure that it's just perfectly level everywhere. Got the sinkhole cut, so we'll be taking the sink back out. It's just sitting in there right now, and we'll be bonding this countertop down, and at that point really we'll be ready to put in the grease trap and hook up the water and everything. But the problem is if I do it, Melinda will start using it before we're finished here working, and I'll have a big mess on top of me. Now there's a backsplash piece here that goes in also. They're sitting down here on the floor. You see them there. So those will be going in, and I think it's going to come out really great. I just do. And then I've got the other countertop to work on the corner over here. I do have the fun of trying to cut around that column in it and all there, but it's all workable. I can handle it all. But that's going to be the next thing that I'm going to have to work on, though, is that and get that all together. And then I think I'm going to get it laid out, have them to go in there and clean up this concrete, probably skim coat it back in there, go ahead and paint it back in there. And actually, I could give them that work now, and then it'll be ready for me to start putting the faces on. But I am going to put a skim coat on that concrete the way we did our walls, and then I'm going to put a good enamel paint over that in there. Joelle's been in here working on this countertop in our CR, and for our shower doors, the most economical way that we could do it was if our opening was 4 foot here and it was like 4'10", so we decided to build out a little wall here, and we have some of this tiles, and we're going to tile it over and trim it. It'll match right in like it was that way from day one, and then we can fit a standard off the shelf shower door and not have to be spending big money for custom doors. So let's knock this piece off there. So that's what's happening with that. All of this countertop up here, but got the countertop on. I got the hole cut out. We have got this clamp down. We're bonding the cement top to the countertop right there. We got it all glued. We've got some water jugs up here just holding the weight down on it so that it'll all set. Mike's doing a little retouching on the side, on those ends right there next to the stove. They were a little rough. He's doing a little retouch on that. Got this one cut and got it cut around this column right here. So that all worked out pretty good. I've still got to deal with this piece over here just yet. So that's where we're at on that right now. And at the moment, I stopped to record. Francis went down and got us some construction adhesive out of the garage, and we're going to start bonding on this backsplash right here. So that's what we're about to do right this minute. What don't need to be in here. So this countertop, the sink, it's hollow right underneath this spot here where it seats down, has those clips, and the way the company sent it was this little thin cheap foam. We threw it in the trash. Here it is. Here it is, this little thin foam to stick right up in here underneath here, and then press the counter down. But it's not even really thick enough to press down and seal the counter. And we know this stuff deteriorates in no time. It's just old cheap foam. But I had on hand right here the silicone rubber windowsill. I think Vince and Janet may have gave me this, brought it to me before. Expat couple that live in Texas and have a house in the next town down the road. And it's a good quality rubber, a really good quality rubber if I can get it. And we ended up using this and putting underneath it, and it worked out great. It was a whole lot better. Didn't have a place you could really put a bead like for silicone. I brought some silicone I was gonna caulk it with, but it didn't really have a place for that. So what we did is we doubled that. We put 2 layers of it so that it'll really sandwich down. So see, it's sticking up a little bit right now, and we sandwich it, it'll be really pressured. It's already sandwiched some. We got this heavy water pushing down on it. So that solved that, and thanks to Vince bringing that stuff before, because it came in a real help on this just then.